If your morning begins with a comforting mug of tea, this may be the most important 20 seconds you hear all year. A leading cancer specialist just linked one everyday tea habit to a sharp rise in two aggressive cancers after age 60. The shocker. The danger isn't the leaf itself, it's the way you brew and sip it. Stay with me because changing one tiny step can flip the risk on its head. Every morning, millions of seniors do something that feels completely harmless, comforting even. They pour a steaming cup of tea, breathe in the warmth, and take that first satisfying sip while it's still piping hot. It's part of the routine, a ritual, a moment of calm in the day. But here's what one of the country's leading oncologists wants you to know. That very first sip, while the tea is still scalding, is quietly damaging your body in ways that won't show up for years, until it's too late. The warning isn't about the tea leaves themselves. It's about the temperature and what happens when that heat meets the fragile lining of your mouth, throat, esophagus, and stomach. Dr. Lena Whitaker, a cancer specialist who's reviewed over 3,000 patient histories, says drinking tea above 65 degrees Celsius or 149 degrees Fahrenheit has been linked to a shocking rise in two aggressive cancers, particularly in people over 60. Now, maybe you've heard that hot beverages can irritate the throat, but this goes far beyond irritation. Studies show that repeated exposure to high-temperature liquid causes tiny thermal injuries to your internal tissue, injuries your body struggles more and more to repair as you age. And when healing slows down, mutations creep in. Silent, unnoticed mutations that may not cause symptoms for years, until they do. But here's the part that really caught our attention, and what no one is talking about. It's not just about temperature. It's about how strongly you brew the tea, how long it steeps, and what kind of tea you're drinking. Certain compounds in oversteeped black or green tea, combined with high heat, create a chemical reaction that turns a healthy drink into a long-term health hazard, especially if you've ever smoked, drank regularly, or have digestive issues that already weaken the mucosal lining. And no, switching to herbal teas doesn't automatically protect you. Now you might be wondering, what's the safe way to enjoy tea? Does this mean you have to give it up entirely? Absolutely not. In fact, there's a simple 3-second fix that makes your tea not only safe, but actually more beneficial for digestion, metabolism, and longevity. We'll show you exactly what that fix is, how to do it, when to do it, and why it matters more after the age of 60 than ever before. But before that, we need to understand what's really happening beneath the surface. Why this specific combination of heat, tannins, and aging tissue is causing oncologists like Dr. Whitaker to sound the alarm. Because once you see how the damage accumulates, you'll never look at a cup of tea the same way again. Let's zoom in on what's actually happening when you sip tea that's too hot, and why your body's ability to handle it changes after 60. Inside your throat and esophagus, there's a thin, delicate lining of cells called epithelial tissue. In your younger years, this tissue is incredibly resilient. It regenerates quickly, bounces back from stress, and can repair itself from small injuries almost overnight. But as we age, that tissue thins. It becomes less elastic. The body's repair systems, especially the ones involved in cellular regeneration, start to slow down. Now imagine pouring liquid at 150 degrees Fahrenheit directly over that vulnerable tissue, not just once, but every morning. Over time, that scalding heat doesn't just cause discomfort. It creates microscopic thermal injuries. You can't feel them. You can't see them. But inside, they're there, damaging cell membranes, drying out protective mucous barriers, and initiating something dangerous: chronic, low-grade inflammation. And inflammation, especially in aging tissues, is the spark that lights the fire. It's the kindling that makes mutations more likely to stick and less likely to be repaired. Over years, that risk accumulates. But heat is only half the equation. When tea is steeped for too long, especially black and strong green teas, it releases high levels of tannins and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs. In small amounts, these compounds aren't dangerous, but when consumed daily in high concentrations and at high temperatures, they begin to act like chemical irritants. Think of it like adding lighter fluid to an already smoldering ember. Now here's where it gets more concerning. Seniors, especially those with a history of acid reflux, ulcers, or digestive issues, are already at a disadvantage. Their gastrointestinal linings are thinner, their protective stomach acid barriers are weaker, and the very cells designed to neutralize damage are producing fewer enzymes and less mucus. That means the same cup of tea that caused zero issues in your 30s could quietly be triggering cellular stress signals in your 70s. What starts as irritation becomes inflammation. What becomes inflamed starts to scar. And scarred tissue? It's the perfect breeding ground for abnormal cell growth, the kind that doesn't respond to normal stop signals. That's the beginning of a cancer pathway. And the evidence isn't theoretical. A large-scale study of over 50,000 participants published in the International Journal of Cancer found that individuals who drank very hot tea, above 65 degrees, were nearly twice as likely to develop esophageal cancer than those who let their tea cool even slightly before drinking. The researchers emphasized this risk rose even higher for seniors, former smokers, and individuals with poor oral health. But there's good news here, too. And we'll get to that. Because none of this is about giving up tea. It's about knowing the when, how, and what kind of tea to drink to protect and support your health, not quietly sabotage it. Coming up, we'll break down the biggest myths around tea drinking and cancer, including why herbal teas aren't always safe, how long to actually steep your tea, and the safest temperature to start sipping. You'll also learn a little-known tea trick used in traditional medicine that flips inflammation on its head and turns your morning ritual into a powerful anti-aging routine. Tea has always been seen as a healthful habit, especially among seniors. It's soothing, natural, and often recommended as a gentler alternative to coffee. But despite its benefits, the way many older adults prepare and drink their tea is rooted in myths that can quietly compromise long-term health. Let's unpack the most common misconceptions that may be putting your body at risk. One of the most widespread beliefs is that the hotter the tea, the better the benefits. It makes sense on the surface. Heat unlocks the nutrients, so why not drink it while it's steaming? But the problem isn't how you brew the tea. It's how quickly you drink it afterward. Consuming tea that's still scalding can cause invisible micro-injuries to your throat and esophagus. Those tissues are thinner and more fragile with age. What once felt comforting is now quietly doing damage. The simple shift? Let your tea cool for a few minutes. Warm is fine. Steaming hot is not. And the best part? You won't lose the antioxidants. You'll just avoid the burn. Another belief that slips under the radar is the idea that herbal teas are always the safer choice. Chamomile, peppermint, rooibos, these blends seem gentle and wholesome. But when you leave the bag in the cup too long, tannins concentrate. Certain herbs, especially when overconsumed, can irritate the gut or even interfere with medications. Seniors are particularly vulnerable because they often drink these teas every night and sometimes with other supplements or prescriptions. A safer habit? Steep your tea for just a few minutes and change up the kind you drink. Rotation protects you from overexposure, and your body thrives on variety. There's also the common assumption that switching from coffee to tea is always a healthier decision. While it's true that tea generally has less caffeine, not all teas are gentle. Strong black and green teas can still raise blood pressure, upset your stomach, or trigger acid reflux, especially if you drink them on an empty stomach or let them steep too long. Many seniors swap out their morning coffee for black tea, thinking it's safer, but then steep it stronger and drink it hotter. That combination can backfire, increasing the very risks they were trying to avoid. The good news? You don't have to give up your ritual. Choosing a milder tea, steeping it less, and allowing it to cool just a bit turns a risky routine into a healing one. If you're looking for something truly senior-friendly, consider lighter brews like white tea or lightly steeped green tea, especially in the morning. And don't pair strong tea with acidic ingredients like lemon on an empty stomach, especially if you have a history of digestive issues. In the next section, we'll reveal which teas actually reduce inflammation, how to time your tea with meals to improve nutrient absorption, and the simple nighttime tea trick that supports both digestion and deep sleep. What you drink matters, but how you drink it matters even more. Now that we've uncovered the risks, let's talk about the teas that do more than just comfort. These are the brews that actively support your body, reducing inflammation, aiding digestion, calming the nervous system, and even helping the body fight off abnormal cell growth. And no, we're not talking about exotic, hard-to-find herbs. We're talking about accessible, powerful teas that become truly therapeutic when prepared the right way. First, there's green tea. Not just any green tea, but one that's lightly steeped and gently cooled. Green tea contains a powerful compound called EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate. It's a mouthful to say, but a miracle in the body. EGCG has been shown to help slow cellular aging, reduce inflammation, and in lab studies, even inhibit the growth of certain cancer cells. But here's the trick. Oversteeping green tea can release too many tannins, making it bitter and harder on the stomach. That's why, especially for seniors, it should be steeped for no more than 3 minutes, then allowed to cool slightly before sipping. When treated gently, green tea becomes one of the most protective drinks you can enjoy daily. Next is turmeric tea, rich in curcumin, which is one of the most potent anti-inflammatory compounds found in nature. Seniors dealing with joint stiffness, slow recovery, or lingering inflammation can benefit tremendously from incorporating turmeric tea into their routine. It's naturally caffeine-free and calming, especially in the evening. But here's what makes it even more powerful. Adding a pinch of black pepper and a dash of healthy fat, like coconut milk or almond milk, helps your body absorb curcumin more effectively. Turmeric on its own is helpful, but when prepared this way, it becomes a serious inflammation-fighting ally. Then there's ginger tea, often overlooked but incredibly powerful. Ginger supports digestion, soothes the gut, and improves circulation. For seniors who deal with bloating, nausea, or sluggish metabolism, ginger can work wonders. But it needs to be fresh or high-quality dried root. Cheap stale powders don't have the same effect. It's especially helpful when consumed with or after meals, as it assists in breaking down food and reducing acid reflux symptoms. Some seniors find that sipping ginger tea after dinner not only helps digestion, but improves their sleep quality too. Finally, we come to white tea, the most delicate and least processed of all. It's low in caffeine, high in antioxidants, and incredibly gentle on the digestive system. White tea is ideal for those who want all the benefits of tea without the overstimulation. It doesn't need long steeping, and it pairs beautifully with a slice of apple or pear for a naturally sweet and calming evening ritual. If you're sensitive to stronger teas, this is your best friend. What matters most isn't just choosing these teas. It's preparing them with intention. Steep them lightly. Let them cool. Avoid combining them with highly acidic additives like lemon if your stomach is sensitive. And never sip them boiling hot. These small adjustments flip your tea routine from risky to regenerative. In the next section, we'll reveal a lesser-known nighttime tea ritual that helps lower inflammation, supports joint repair, and aids overnight cellular detox. You'll learn how just 1 cup at the right time can transform the way your body recovers while you sleep. Sleep is when your body does its deepest work, repairing tissues, calming inflammation, rebalancing hormones. But here's the part most seniors don't realize. Without the right signals before bed, your body can enter the night undernourished, inflamed, and more prone to overnight tissue breakdown. That's especially true after age 60, when muscle loss accelerates and your cells don't bounce back the way they used to. Enter the nighttime tea ritual. This isn't just about sipping something warm before bed. It's about giving your body the fuel it needs to recover while you rest. The right combination of tea and nutrients at night can reduce overnight inflammation, soothe aching joints, and even protect your lean muscle mass from overnight catabolism, the silent breakdown that leaves you feeling weaker, stiffer, and more fatigued the next morning. One of the most powerful nighttime teas for this is a turmeric ginger blend, made with either fresh ingredients or a high-quality organic dried mix. These two roots work together like a 1-2 punch. Turmeric targets the deep inflammation that builds up from daily stress and aging. Ginger supports circulation and digestion, ensuring nutrients are properly absorbed and your stomach isn't working overtime as you try to fall asleep. To unlock the full healing potential, you'll want to brew your tea about an hour before bed. Use hot, but not boiling water, around 160 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Let it steep for 5 to 6 minutes, then add a splash of unsweetened coconut milk or almond milk. Why? Because curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, is fat-soluble. That tiny bit of healthy fat helps shuttle it into your cells. And don't forget a small pinch of black pepper. It sounds odd, but it boosts curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. Without it, most of the anti-inflammatory benefits are lost in digestion. Now here's the key. Sipping this tea slowly, mindfully, as you wind down sends a very different message to your nervous system. It signals safety, calm, restoration. Your cortisol levels drop, your parasympathetic nervous system kicks in, and your body becomes primed for recovery mode. But the benefits go beyond inflammation and joint comfort. Seniors who drink anti-inflammatory tea at night often report waking up less bloated, more mobile, and with fewer aches. Some even experience improvements in blood sugar regulation and sleep quality within just a few weeks. It's not a magic pill. It's a gentle shift, a supportive behavior that accumulates over time. Think of it like brushing your teeth, but for your joints, muscles, and metabolism. In the next section, we'll dive into one of the most misunderstood tea ingredients that's quietly interfering with sleep, disrupting hormones, and increasing overnight fat storage, especially in adults over 60. If you've ever added this to your nighttime tea thinking it was healthy, you'll want to pay close attention. There's one addition many seniors make to their tea that seems harmless, even healthy. It's added out of habit, often with good intentions. But if you drink tea in the evening and wonder why your sleep feels lighter, your belly feels puffier, or your energy crashes by morning, this silent ingredient could be part of the problem. The ingredient? Honey. Now, before you panic or toss your jar in the trash, let's be clear. Honey in small amounts during the day, especially paired with antioxidant-rich foods, isn't the issue. The concern arises when it's used in tea late in the evening, particularly for those over 60. Here's why. Honey is a simple sugar, glucose and fructose, and while it does have trace antioxidants and antibacterial properties, it still spikes insulin, especially in older adults who may already be insulin resistant. When consumed right before bed, that small spoonful triggers a blood sugar rise, followed by a blood sugar drop. That drop, which typically happens a few hours into sleep, can actually trigger a cortisol release, waking you up or pulling you into lighter, less restorative sleep stages without you even realizing it. And that's not all. Adding honey to hot tea, especially boiling hot tea, can break down some of its beneficial compounds and convert others into reactive carbonyl compounds. These can promote oxidative stress in the body, the opposite of what you're trying to achieve with a soothing bedtime ritual. Even more subtle is what happens to your overnight fat-burning state. When insulin rises, your body shifts out of fat burning and into storage mode. That means the natural cellular repair and metabolic reset that should happen during sleep gets interrupted. Over time, this small habit, just a teaspoon before bed, can lead to creeping weight gain around the belly, insulin resistance, and even increased inflammation markers. Now, if you're thinking, but it helps me relax, you're not alone. Many people associate the warmth and sweetness of tea and honey with comfort, and that's valid. But what your body needs for true restoration at night is stable blood sugar, low insulin, and low inflammation. So what's the better alternative? If you like something soothing in your tea, try a splash of unsweetened almond or oat milk with a hint of cinnamon. Cinnamon has natural blood sugar balancing effects and adds that cozy, satisfying flavor without the metabolic crash. And if you truly need a touch of sweetness, consider a tiny pinch of monk fruit or stevia, natural sweeteners that don't spike insulin and are gentler on your system, especially before bed. The bottom line isn't to demonize honey, it's about timing. What you add to your tea and when can either support your body's recovery or silently sabotage it. In the next section, we'll reveal how to build the perfect morning-to-night tea strategy for seniors. You'll learn when to drink specific teas to boost energy, support digestion, protect your brain, and set your body up for long-term health without any guesswork. Your body runs on rhythm, natural cycles of energy, digestion, rest, and repair. And believe it or not, the type of tea you drink and when you drink it can either enhance those rhythms or throw them completely off balance. That's why building a simple tea timing routine can have an outsized impact on how you feel throughout the day, especially after the age of 60. Let's start in the morning. After waking up, your body is naturally in a cortisol-boosted state. That's your built-in energy surge. What you need at this time isn't stimulation, it's clarity and calm alertness. A lightly steeped green tea is ideal here. It offers just enough caffeine to nudge you into wakefulness, but it also delivers L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes mental clarity without the jitters. Sip it warm, not hot, and let it cool slightly before that first drink. This helps preserve your throat tissues and prevents the hidden thermal damage we discussed earlier. Mid-morning, between breakfast and lunch, your digestion is humming along. This is the perfect window for a cup of white tea. It's low in caffeine, gentle on the stomach, and rich in polyphenols that support your cardiovascular system. Think of this as your metabolic tune-up, a way to protect blood vessels, support memory, and maintain stable energy without crashing later in the day. After lunch, especially if the meal was heavier or starchier, digestion can slow. This is when many seniors feel bloated, sluggish, or even sleepy. A warm cup of ginger tea after lunch can work wonders here. Ginger stimulates digestive enzymes, eases gas and bloating, and helps move food through the stomach more efficiently. Just a few sips can kickstart a sluggish digestive system, reduce acid reflux, and even help with nutrient absorption, especially calcium and magnesium, which are vital for bone health. In the afternoon, as energy dips and the mind starts to wander, many people reach for another cup of black tea or even coffee. But that caffeine spike can disrupt your natural melatonin cycle later. Instead, consider a second round of green tea, this time with mint or lemon balm for calm focus, or even hibiscus tea if you're managing blood pressure. Hibiscus is tart, refreshing, and loaded with anthocyanins that support healthy blood flow and kidney function. As evening approaches, you need to send the body the opposite signal. It's time to wind down. This is where the nighttime ritual begins. A turmeric ginger blend prepared about an hour before bed sets the stage for repair. It soothes inflammation, quiets the nervous system, and prepares your body for a deeper, more regenerative sleep. Remember to add a dash of healthy fat and a pinch of black pepper to unlock turmeric's full potential. Sip it slowly. Let it be the final note in your day. This simple tea timing routine is more than a schedule. It's a system. It's how you align your habits with your biology, so every cup works with your body, not against it. In the final section, we'll show you how to turn this knowledge into a lifelong habit, with one nightly decision that, over time, may help you preserve your independence, mobility, and strength well into your 80s and beyond. Let's fast forward a few years. You're not just hoping to avoid disease. You're hoping to move freely, to get out of bed without pain, to walk to the kitchen, take the stairs, carry groceries, bend down and play with your grandchild, without needing help, without losing balance, without feeling fragile. That version of you doesn't just appear, it's built, day by day, choice by choice, cup by cup, and it often starts with one overlooked decision made when the world goes quiet, at night. You see, after the age of 60, what happens while you sleep determines more than just how rested you feel. It affects how much muscle you preserve, how much inflammation gets cleared, how well your cells repair, and whether your body moves one step closer to vitality or one step closer to decline. That's why the simple act of preparing the right tea before bed isn't just a habit. It's a signal, a message to your body that you're protecting it, fueling it, and giving it what it needs to rebuild instead of break down. It's not about giving up the tea you love. It's about drinking it wisely, choosing the ingredients that reduce cellular stress, steeping it gently, letting it cool, timing it so your sleep works for you, not against you, removing the hidden saboteurs, like late-night sugar or scalding temperatures, and replacing them with calm, restorative rituals that heal you from the inside out. And while that may sound small, almost too simple to matter, it's often these quiet, high-leverage decisions that change everything. Because years from now, when others struggle to stay upright, when their joints ache and muscles weaken, when simple tasks become obstacles, you'll remember this. The ritual you built, the decision you made, and the strength you kept. So tonight, as you fill the kettle, just pause. Choose the tea that supports your body. Steep it with care. Add what helps. Leave out what harms. Sip it slowly. Let your body know that recovery has begun, because aging is inevitable. But how you age, that's still yours to decide.